Okay, dear aspirants preparing for your GATE 2021, let us do another numerical problem from engineering mechanics by Timosenko, Young, Rao and Sukumar Pati. Very simple. This is from problem set 2.1 of engineering mechanics and solution to 2.17. Three forces are applied to a body as shown in figure K. As given in your book, this is your figure K. There are three forces shown in red: 100 Newton force, 100 Newton force, 600 Newton force. And what is the condition? What are the conditions? The direction of the 200 Newton may vary. These are the 200 Newton forces. In the present situation, the angle between them is 90 degree, but they can vary. Means these 200 Newtons acting at point A can be like this, can be like this, can be like this, but whatever is the situation, the angle between them is always 30 degree. That is what the problem says. But the angle between these forces is always 30 degree. Now determine the range of values alpha. In your textbook it is written theta, but in the diagram it is given alpha, so I have changed it. Determine the range of values of alpha, the angle, for which the magnitude of the resultant of the forces applied to the body is less than 650 Newton, right? So what is given in the diagram is that this green one is the body, this is the point A, 100 Newton, 30 degree, this is horizontal, this 600 Newton is acting on 45 degree, this is given. Of course, the diagram is not drawn to scale. You might ask, if from this point to this point is 100 Newton, then how from this point to this point is 600 Newton? This arrow should have been bigger actually, means 6 times more than this, because the length of arrow in vector represents the magnitude of the quantity. Now, let us assume one force. Let 100 Newton is represented as P. Let this one is P. Another 100 Newton is represented as Q. Let this one is Q. And angle between P and Q is 30 degree. And angle between P and Q is always 30 degree. That is given in the statement. Let R1 is the resultant of these 200 Newton forces for whatever is their position. So using parallelogram law of vector addition, the resultant of this P and Q, which are of 100 Newton each, will be, if I take it as R1, will be P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos 30 square root of that. Put the value of P as 100, Q as 100, cos 30. This comes out to be this many Newtons in a scientific calculator. I have taken up to 2 decimal figures, that is 193.18 Newton. Now, how do you find the resultant of a P and Q? You consider P, you consider Q, and taking these two as the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, if you construct a parallelogram, this one will be your resultant. That I have taken it as R. Now, since P and Q both are equal, so this angle will be this angle. Means this will be 15 and this will be 15. That is I am going to discuss in the next page. Now, so the same diagram, I have redrawn it again. The point A, 100 Newton, this was taken as P, this was taken as Q. I have constructed a parallelogram. This is the parallelogram. So this is the diagonal that is passing through the same point from which P is originating and Q is originating. Therefore, R1 is the resultant, and R1 I just calculated as 193.18 Newton. R1 I calculated as 193.18 Newton. 193.18 Newton. And I just said, since this length of P and length of Q are equal, if you construct a parallelogram, then this diagonal, which is the resultant R1, will exactly pass in between P and Q. So this angle will be 15, this angle will be 15 degree. That is half of 30 degree. This is same thing as alpha to be found out. This is your 600 Newton. Now, Since we have considered the resultant of P and Q and it is found out to be R, therefore instead of considering P and Q, the resultant R1 can be considered. Means the resultant of P, Q and 600 Newton will be the same resultant as the resultant of R1 and 600 Newton. Means you can replace P, you can replace Q by a single force R1 and take the resultant of R1 with this 600 Newton. Now what is the angle between R1 and 600? This is 45, this is alpha, this is 15. So 45 plus alpha plus 15. So we have two forces now, 600 Newton, 600 Newton and your R1, which is the resultant of P and Q, and the angle between them is now 45 plus alpha plus 15, that is equal to 60 plus alpha. Now considering this 600 Newton and this R1 as the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, you can find the resultant, the final resultant, that is this one. So that is what I am doing. So therefore R1 makes 15 degree with each of 100 Newton, which I just explained. Now the angle between 600 Newton and R1 is 45 plus alpha plus 15, that is 60 plus alpha degree. Now it is given that the resultant of these three forces is 650 Newton. Therefore 650 Newton is the resultant of 600 Newton and R1, which is calculated as 193.18 Newton. Now again apply the parallelogram law of forces, that is parallelogram law of vector addition, using the parallelogram of law of vector addition. R square is P square plus Q square 2PQ cos theta. The final resultant is 650, the square of 650, P is equal to this much. This is your R1 and this is your 600. I am now finding out the resultant of R1 and 600. R1 was the resultant of P and Q. So I have replaced P and Q with R1 and I am now finding this resultant, the final resultant, which is the resultant of 600 Newton and R1, and the angle between them is 45 plus alpha plus 15 degree. So P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos 60 plus alpha. So cos 60 plus alpha, keep it on left side. I bring this to left side, this is subtracted. I bring this to the left side, it is also subtracted. This was multiplied. So when this comes to the left hand side, it is divided. So this on simplification with a scientific calculator gives you 0.108. So cos 60 plus alpha is this much. So 60 plus alpha will be cos inverse of this. Cos inverse of this, if you put it in a calculator, this comes out to be 83 degree, 47 minutes of arc, 59.87 seconds of arc. That is nearly 83 degree, 47 minutes. Nearly. Okay. Now therefore alpha is equal to O, by making side changes, is equal to this minus 60, that is 23 degree 47 minutes. Therefore alpha is equal to this. This is your one answer. Now look at this. Cos 360 minus 60 plus alpha. Cos 360 minus 60 plus alpha. One second. Cos 63. Cos, that is a formula. Cos of 360 minus theta is same thing as cos theta. So cos 360 minus 60 plus alpha, if you consider this as theta, that is cos theta. And this is how much? This will be calculated. So cos of this angle is equal to this much. Therefore 360 minus 60 plus alpha is cos inverse of this. Cos inverse of this was calculated previously. So now take 60 plus alpha to one side and to the right hand side. So this comes to the left hand side. So it becomes 360 minus 83 degree 47 minutes. So now make your side changes. Take 60 to the right hand side. So your alpha becomes 360 minus 60 minus this much. That comes out to be 216 degree 13 minutes. That is your second answer.